Gordon Alford of Rainier Flight Services. Can you tell us what Rainier Flight Services does?
Sure, we're primarily a flight school. We've got approximately 30 aircraft and instructors that provide flight training all the way from private pilot through air transport pilot for Puget Sound residents.
Private transport, private pilot versus air transport, what's the difference?
Well, there's multiple levels of pilot certification. Typically, most people start at the beginning level, which is a private pilot certificate, and that allows someone to just either recreationally fly a small airplane. And then they go graduate from there up to an instrument rating, which allows them to fly in the clouds. A commercial pilot certificate allows them to be paid for their services, and eventually air transport pilots, which is a qualification required for airline flying.
And you're an airline pilot yourself, right?
I am just coming up on 20 years.
Really? All
Yeah,
right, I got to ask this question. Just how cool is it to be able to fly an airplane?
it's a pretty humbling position to be in. People say, boy, you work all the time. You're traveling all over the country. It must be exhausting. And my response is always, well, it's not really work if you do what you love. And I'm very fortunate to truly do something that I love doing every day.
How far up have you been?
In altitude, in the Boeings, we go up to 41,000 feet, which
Oh my
is,
gosh.
over 4 miles straight up. So quite a ways.
Yeah, that's a long way up there.
Yeah.
Gordon, we are very fortunate here at the Milgard School of Business that a couple of our students got to work with you in a project basis recently. Can you tell us about that project?
I am happy to. We were reached out to by Thomas Coljam in the UW program to see if we were interested in placing a couple of interns on a project. And fortunately, at that time, we were in the midst of trying to develop a marketing survey and better understand our existing clients and needs. So it was really a perfect match to allow these university students to put their textbook and academic knowledge and skills to practical use while providing us some really useful information for our business.
Well, that was the key. It was useful information that came to you.
And that's what we're waiting on right now. We launched the survey that the interns developed this last week, and we'll probably give it a few more days to gather as many data points as possible so that we can review the results shortly.
What do you think they learned? I mean, I know that you've been through, at least undergraduate school yourself. I don't know if you went on to get an MBA, but I know that you've been managing your own business for quite some time. So that's an education in and of itself, I'm sure.
Oh, it certainly is. I'm sure any business owner can tell you whether they have the certification or not. It's a trial by fire, if nothing else. But yeah,
So how about the students? What do you think they learned?
I really think the students had an appreciation as far as the feedback that I've received so far of things aren't necessarily cut and dry in the real world as they're presented through case studies in the classroom. So when we really try to identify what is the objective of the survey, what is the information that we're trying to gain so it's actionable and useful to our business, I think they were surprised at how many iterations and drafts of that survey we had to go through to make sure it was really on point to capture the information we were looking for. I hope they weren't discouraged, but I think in the end they realized how important it is to really make sure it's right, because you only have one shot, especially at surveys, to get the correct information you're looking for. So we respect our clients' opinions and time, and we don't want to burden them unnecessarily. So I really wanted to do this and do it right, which I think we did. And I'm very excited to start reading some of the results.
what are some of the extra challenges that you're going through right now? I mean, here we are in gosh, I don't know, 7 months worth of COVID restrictions.
It is, it's been a very fluid time, and not just for our businesses, but I'm sure, just about every business has been upset during this pandemic. So what we really wanted to understand was, has our market changed? Has our client base shifted from recreational um, to airline training, or vice versa? Are pilots gun shy about an aviation career versus a year ago? So we wanted to make sure that our target market was in line with the current services that we offer, as well as challenges. Are we in the right geographic location to serve our customers, or are there other opportunities to take advantage of?
When do you think you're going to learn that?
Oh, I hope this next week. We're putting plans in place, and we hope to capitalize on opportunities as we see them, so that we can continue being successful here in the coming years.
I'm not going to ask you if it's easy to learn to fly, but I am going to ask you, is the process that you put people through, is it easy for them to enter and then determine from there how they're going to do?
I think there's a misconception with learning to fly. Anyone can do it. I know pilots are really good at making it seem more complicated than it is, but truly it's a machine just like anything else. And what we really try to emphasize, and this comes from our airline experience, is the decision-making process. It's how to anticipate, threats and mitigate them to the greatest extent possible. So yes, stick and rudder flying is very important, and we make sure that people are proficient flying the aircraft, but equally important is the decision making and understanding how to complete a flight as safely as possible.
The future of Rainier flight, I want to ask you about that here in just a second. But before we get there, I want to talk about the future of students potentially serving Rainier flight in an internship capacity. Is that something that, because of this experience, you might be considering doing again?
Absolutely. I see great value in a partnership with a program such as yours through the University of Washington. It's hard for a small business to allocate, full-time resources and bring on, for example, a marketing manager, and that's what they're tasked with doing all the time. There are some special projects where we really need some expertise, and it doesn't really warrant a full-time position year-round. So I would love to explore opportunities where kids, I shouldn't say kids, young adults, aspiring professionals are looking to gain some real-world experience. And it would be a mutually beneficial relationship, so that we can put our resources to efficient use while gaining opportunities to experience the real world side of things in conjunction with the academic process.
Well, we at the University of Washington, we really appreciate Thomas Cooljam putting us together. So we really appreciate that. Now, the future of Rainier Flight Services, what's next for you guys?
Well, ironically, we're looking at expanding. I was very hesitant to make any long-term plans over the last several months, but we've been measuring the recovery, and so far it's been exceeding our expectations. So as other flight schools are kind of struggling and finding their place, we see opportunities that we want to take advantage of. We're looking at opening a second location actually down at Pierce County Airport. So we're very excited, based on the information that we'll get with the survey that the interns produced. We'll have a better idea of exactly what the size of the market is, how many clients would prefer a South Sound location, and so forth. So the work that the interns provided for us is going to be crucial to making this successful.
Well, Gordon, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for participating in the program. And when we look up, we'll see if that's you.
I appreciate it. Please come by and we'll get you in the air too.
All right, take care.
Thank you.